Welcome to Bunzl's Return to Work guidance video. In this session, we will go through the Return to Work interview record step by step to ensure that you are fully confident in filling out this important document correctly. This form is to be completed following all sickness and other unauthorised absences. First of all, we're going to look at the top section of this document. Employee name. The first name and surname of the employee you are carrying out the return to work interview with needs to go here. For example, Joe Bloggs. Date of interview. This form should always be completed on the first day that the employee returns to the business. The full date this is carried out, including the year, is entered here. Name of interviewer. This is your full name or the full name of the line manager carrying out the interview if you are completing this form on their behalf. Branch. This is the location that the employee is based. For example, Birch Coppice. Date of absence started. This is the first working day that the employee was absent due to sickness or some other unauthorised reason. Last day of absence. This is the last working day that the employee was absent due to sickness or some other unauthorised reason. Date of return. This is the first working day that the employee returns to the business. This should also be the date of the interview, as seen above. Total number of days absent. This is the total number of working days that the employee has been absent from the business. Therefore, this would not include any weekends or weekdays that the employee is not contracted to work. Current Bradford score. The Bradford factor score entered here needs to be calculated over the past rolling 12 months. Ensure you include the most recent absence in this calculation. Please see video on how to calculate a Bradford score. Section 1. Notification procedures. Did the employee follow the correct notification procedure? For example, did the employee contact their manager or supervisor within reasonable time before their shift started, and did they follow up where necessary to notify of their absence? Please tick yes or no. Next, you will need to complete either Section 2 or Section 3, depending on whether the employee was absent for over 7 calendar days or not. However, I will cover both sections. Section 2. Employees absent for 7 calendar days or less. In this case, employees can self-search for the first 7 calendar days and as a result do not need to obtain a fit note. However, they may have still consulted a doctor. So, did you consult the doctor? Did the employee have any appointments or contact with their GP during their absence? Please tick yes or no. If the employee answers yes, please note below any advice that the doctor provided the employee. This may help identify any support or reasonable allowances the employee needs upon their return. Section 3. Employees absent for more than 7 calendar days. Has a fit note from the doctor been provided? Any employees absent from work for more than 7 calendar days are required to provide a fit note from the doctor, so ideally the answer should always be yes here. This should be forwarded onto a member of the HR team alongside this document once complete. Reason for absence. Please tick the most appropriate box from the following. Ill health or injury, for example, flu, stomach bug, broken arm. Domestic emergency, for example, a dependent or close family member is in need of the employee. Or compassionate leave. This can be used following a traumatic event such as the death of a family member. Section 4. Reason for absence. Please fill out a brief description of the reason behind the employee's absence in the box provided. Was this a result of a work-based incident or accident? Please tick either yes or no, depending on whether this absence was due to an event that occurred in the workplace or not. If yes, has this been investigated and reported on the Bunzl risk management system? Any work-based incident and accidents should be reported on this system, which can be found online on Pebble. Section 5. Symptoms and medications. Do you believe that any of your symptoms or medication will affect your ability to carry out your role, taking account of the safety of yourself and others? Discuss this with the employee before agreeing on whether this is a yes or a no. Brief details of symptoms/medication and their effects. Please note here any medication the employee is on, if applicable, and the side effects that this may have, and also any symptoms that the employee may still be experiencing and how these could affect them in the workplace if so. Section 6. Is further absence in relation to these circumstances likely? Again, discuss this with the employee as to whether this is likely to happen again in the future. Then tick yes or no. If yes, please explain why in the box below. Section 7. Payment. Is the employee to be paid company sick payment for their absence? Here, you will need to consider whether they followed the correct procedure and whether they have any sick pay entitlement remaining. Please tick yes or no. If you are unsure of whether the employee is entitled to company sick payment and or how much company sick payment to pay, please contact the HR department. If no, please make sure that you notify HR and or payroll. If yes, how many days? Please record how many working days in total the employee is being paid for in the box on the right. If partially paid, how many days to be unpaid? If the employee is only being partially paid for their absence, please record how many days that are not being paid in the box on the right. Has the employee been notified? Have you explained to the employee whether they are being paid or not and the reasons for this? Please tick yes or no. Section 8. Improvement in attendance. What are you doing to try and reduce your absence or Bradford score? You need to ask this question to the employee and capture their response in the box provided. You may need to advise the employee on a target of improvement. For example, to reduce your Bradford score to an acceptable level, I believe that no more than X occasions and or X days within the next 6 months should be achieved. Is there anything the company can do to help you improve your attendance? Again, discuss this with the employee and make note of anything that is requested and or agreed. Section 9. Action agreed or taken. Adjustment to role. Please tick yes or no depending on whether any adjustments will need to be made to the employee's role upon their return. Referral to the EHS manager. Given the circumstances, does this employee need a referral to the Environment, Health and Safety manager? Please tick yes or no. Referral to HR. Again, taking into account the circumstances, does this employee need referring to HR? HR are able to provide advice, support and refer to occupational health where necessary. Please tick yes or no. Recourse to attendance management procedure in respect of absence levels. Does this employee's Bradford score indicate that they need an attendance management procedure? Please tick yes or no. Recourse to the disciplinary procedure in respect of non-compliance with notification procedures. If the employee did not follow the correct notification procedures, please inform HR so that they can invite the employee to a disciplinary hearing. Finally, The bottom section needs to be signed by the employee who has had the absence, the line manager conducting the return to work, and the date that this was carried out. Thank you for listening.